Yeah, obviously nice to hit the ground running, especially at home. I think we got the favourable conditions, especially with the ball in hand, obviously with the bat as well. But to have those guys, the international players, charging in, in front of a packed house at Newlands, it's tough as a batter. Having spoken to a few of the guys after the game, but it was a power pack team from Paarl as well. So obviously nice to just have things go away. There are obviously a lot of areas we need to improve on, things that we're going to tweak going forward, and looking forward to seeing how the ball rolls on from here. Thought it was a pretty good ball set to offside, but yeah, I don't know what happened there with Dane. I think I owe him a beer at the end of the day. Yeah, it's fullest house I've probably played in South Africa. I haven't seen Newlands. I've never actually played in front of a full house in Newlands, but awesome. Obviously, a lot of kids, a lot of screaming fans. I think the guys on the mics were loud, but they were good. So it's just awesome to actually get out there, the lights on, and put a bit of a partnership with Dierwald and just enjoy some really tough and good cricket. There's some highly skilled players in this league, and just the opportunity to take it all in is something that we cherish. Yeah, I got off quite nicely, which probably gave him a bit of time. But as I started to slow down a bit, I was kind of like, "Come on, mate! Show me what you got." And that, I think it was the sixth over, he took on, I think it was Farisco or Cody, one of them. And once he got going quite nicely. Such a clean strike of the ball. And I think the freedom we have knowing that, you got Sam, Rassie, Grant, Delano, George in the back really helps us play confidently. And once you get used to the wicket, you can really try and maximise it. Yeah, like I said, I had a nice month these last 2 months. I did have about a 10-day break off in December, or just after the One Day Cup domestic final. But yeah, T20 is a bit different, so I know I'm hitting the ball nicely. I think it's just probably about trying to mould some plans. I haven't had the best time in T20 cricket the last year or two, so the opportunity to try formulate some plans with Simon, Kadich and Hash has really been helpful, and just to try and get used to the conditions. So yeah, like I said, I'm hitting it quite nicely. It's just trying to make sure I can continue this period, for the rest of the summer, ideally. Yeah, like you said, I think those bubble crickets I really struggled on those slow, low wickets, as the tournament ran on. I think the opportunity just to get on, fresh wickets where the ball comes on a bit better and just have the freedom. Like I said, we've got a lot of players, we have great T20 players behind us at 3 onwards. So yeah, I'm just trying to formulate a plan for myself, and hopefully something I can stick to going forward. And I don't doubt myself as a T20 player. I just haven't had the best last 2 years, 18 months. So I know I still got it. So I just need to formulate something that can prove that I still have it. I think we had about 2 warm-up games and 4 middle sessions. So a lot of the batters are high-felt batters. So just for us to get used to the conditions is a big thing. We noticed, we learned different parts of our game and things that we need to stick into here. So it obviously helps that we got 3 on the bounce here. So I think if you win your games at home, it obviously gives yourself the best opportunity to try and maximise in the tournament. So I think that's obviously our prize, is just taking our home games into consideration. And then obviously as we branch out throughout the South Africa, we go to the high fault where maybe I come into play and Rassie and Dierwald and different batters under different conditions. So I think if we can make sure we look after our home games, we actually have a really good chance going outside of Cape Town. Unbelievable! I actually forgot that he still plays cricket. To be honest, he played for Surrey this year. He's quite a simple coach. To be honest, I think that's a nice part of having someone that's actually still playing. He just formulates something which he can see blends to a certain kind of player. I think I'll probably play more along his lines than a guy like Dierwald does. So him and I are quite close with regards to just trying to formulate a few plans, and obviously having played for the Cobras here forever, and obviously a lot of time in South Africa in Cape Town, he has a really good understanding, and we've worked out something for myself. And like I said, he's a phenomenal player, so anything I can gain from him is always going to help. I guess everyone teaches you something different. I think the confidence, firstly, that especially the English and the West Indian players bring into this group is, something in South Africans we don't actually really get to see a lot, to be honest. So the freedom in their mind that they play the game in is probably the first thing. But as it gets more technical, they speak about obviously backing your ability, but you try to chat to Jofra Archer about, his bowling plans, guy like Sam Curran, what he looks to do. So you try and formulate ways around that knowledge that you can take, and then you'll shift it to a guy like Simon Kadich and Hash. And you get the opportunity just to see how top international players think against other top international players. And you can kind of just try to stay one step ahead of them or one step with them. You're picking up little bits of information along the way. Had the opportunity. Joff needed a batter to bowl to the other day, so I said I'm going to be that guy. So I'm going to face him at some point in my career. So might as well get it out in the nets. But look, he's unbelievable. Both of them, they're bloody quick. So if you walk out of a net feeling vaguely confident that you are able to hold your own, it's a really good feather in your cap going forward. And really glad that they're in my team. Yeah. Always happy to keep. Love keeping. I think there's just a discussion. I don't really do my fielding any justice today, to be honest. But my fielding out of the two of us was probably a little bit ahead of Grant. So it's probably one of the you're going to keep. One of you need to field. Who's probably the better fielder. But like I said, I didn't do it justice today. So hopefully I can recover going forward now.
Well, again, it's all conditions based, right? So it's always great to look in hindsight when somebody does really, really well. Could you have used him differently? And that's something that we will discuss internally. We've always had our strategies in place of how we want to structure, particularly the power play. I thought we started really well in that first 2 overs, but unfortunately, we lost it towards the back end there. And we're always fighting when you're not really taking wickets in that middle phase. You're always trying to chase the game. So unfortunately, as the wicket got better, 142 was never going to be enough. Well, I think from a conditions perspective, we might see something similar. It was uniquely different. I thought, coming to Newlands, having played here for many years and seeing the wicket as slow as it was, particularly in the first innings. So that's certainly something that we've prepared for going into Friday's game. So our conversation and preparation will lead into that. But at the end of the day, there's enough experience in our team. Unfortunately, we just didn't execute this time around, and hopefully we can find our way come Friday. I think it can come into play from time to time, particularly when the conditions, dictates whether you're going to play an extra spinner or extra seamer. I don't think teams will tinker too much in terms of batting lineups or top 6, but I think with that spinner or seamer, could come into play, particularly if you're going to be chasing. Does that then warrant you to maybe play an extra seamer or so forth? It's great innovation. I think the uniqueness about starting a new league, you have to come with something fresh, and the regulations that we brought in is pretty exciting. So hopefully we can find our way of how to use it to our advantage. Well, I think we need to start at the start, really, where we always knew that having a look at the wicket, the conditions were going to play a big part. So I thought the toss had some sort of favour there to Mumbai. But look, at the end of the day, when you get 142, you got to feel that you're in the game. It's a competitive score. But unfortunately, in the bowling department, a few opportunities went to begging. Different ball game, possibly, if we took that first one. Bit of pressure in the power play. But all in all, my assessment of it is our execution, unfortunately, wasn't up to standard. And that's something obviously we will have a internal address and opportunity to rectify. It's the first game of the tournament. You don't want to scratch where it's not really itching. I think importantly for us, it's just to look at some of the positives out of this game and how do we find those character wins. For me, it was just great to be out again. In terms of a domestic setup, great to have a full packed stadium at Newlands. How good was that? So lots to be thankful for, but more importantly now it's about looking forward and seeing how we can get back on that bus.